is bound to release a mercury as a vapor and which settles around the power plants. Next. Now the ambient air quality, this has already been discussed with Dr. G.D. Agarwal. Now these only two guidelines has been left. The industrial area has been done away. Next. Now why do we monitor objective air quality? Because when we have to comply with the standards, the standards have been set, certain limits are there. So whether these standards we cannot see by the naked eyes, whether the pollution is there or not, what is the level of there. If the level is high, we have to identify the sources and do the remedial measures, the control measures, the control equipments to be installed. So we have to monitor the ambient air quality around the, depending on the situation, to assess the health effect and potential damage to the property, to determine the background level pollution. Suppose you are going to set up an industry, under EIA the baseline quality is to be established. What is the status before the plant is coming up and what is the status after the plant is commissioned. That is done by the mathematical modeling. The baseline, the predicted values are superimposed on the and we have come up with what is the ultimate quality of this ambient air. So we can see and foresee the management tools. The criteria polluted upon the location, certain pollutants are already given here. That those pollutants which are not given here, certain are asked to be monitored depending on the industry. Like in petroleum industry, you have to monitor the VOCs and the hydrocarbon also by local state pollution control boards. Now we come to the site selection. The site selection criteria is important. Quality assurance, quality control in air, quality monitoring is essential. Type of pollutant to be monitored in a city. If you are monitoring in the city, we have to look for the vehicular emissions. Because in the city, urban area, the major pollution is from the automobiles, beside the industrial locations. Next. The site should be representative of the location being assessed. It should not be unduly influenced by immediate surrounding unless the influence are specifically being measured. For example, near a busy road, a factory stack or dusty quarry, the site should not be subjected to flooding and the site's classification or situation should not be changed over time. Next. Now see, certain other requirements are also seen, whether the accessibility of the site, power requirements, safety. These are also be considered at the point of fixing the monitoring station. Certain time we also ensure how much time the LCD is available. We can monitor in the absence of the regular electric power with our generators, but use of generator has got their own limitations because they cannot work continuously for 24 hours. One has to feed them with the fuel, and fuel will also emit certain pollutants which can interfere with the local air quality. If anyway we have to do the monitoring with the help of these generators, generators should be kept downwind at least 100 meters away from the samplers. Now for any coming to sampling, suppose we want to sample any environment, we need three things. First, any suction device, vacuum device, and a metering device, which at what flow rate we are sucking the air, drawing the air. Ultimately, we are interested in knowing the exact quantitative volume of the air which has been sucked. And then a trapping device. It may be, suppose we are working for a particulate matter, it may be a filter. For any gaseous volume, we have to impinge or adsorb on the charcoal. If it is an organic compound, it has to be absorbed in silica gel or organic charcoal. If it is a gas, inorganic gas, it has to be absorbed in a proper solution, which can be subjected to a quantitative analysis later stage. Next. This is one of the important facts. Where to monitor where to take the reading. Whether we have to take the reading on this top, this point or this point. First of all, the reading should be taken at the high level, straight. If you are taking a reading from here, you will find a higher value. If you are taking a reading from here, you will find a lower value. So one should know what is the exact flow rate of the rotometer. There are various types of rotometers available in the various machines manufactured by different manufacturers. Suppose we have to take the reading at the widest part of the float, widest part. This is circular. You have to take the diameter, highest point. Here we have to take, this is a float, we have to take the reading at the upper float. And reading in this type of float, we have to take reading in here, the widest part of the float. Next. Now the methods are prescribed in the standards have improved Western Geiger methods, ultraviolet fluorescence, Knox, Jacobs method for online laser direct reading, chemiluminescence, PM2 and PM205 is the gravimetric method, TOEM and beta attenuation. Here TOM is wrongly printed in the gadget. This is TEOM, tapered electronically, tapered oscillating environmental monitor. Then ozone, UV photometric method, chemiluminescence and chemical methods are available. For lead, it can be done by AS, ICP, or emission EDXRF using Teflon filters. Next. CO can be used by non-dispersive analyzers. It is recommended in the board, but BIS standard says it can be monitored by number of methods. But those methods are not realistically possible. One method is a CO detector. CO detector has a limitation. It cannot work in the ambient air quality. The level present in the ambient air quality, it cannot monitor that level. Generally, ambient air quality now, CO is available less than 1 or 2 ppm. So 1 and 2 ppm is not possible to monitor with the detector tubes. And then beside, if we can monitor those limits, the results are about 10 to 20% plus or minus. Like one method is CO is given in the BIS method is iodine pentoxide. If you monitor through the iodine pentoxide method, you need to have keep the sampling tube at 175 degrees centigrade in the field. So it is not, you have to carry a small oven in which you can put this tube and you can monitor you have to maintain 175 degrees centigrade, which is not possible. Then we can have gas sampling bags. Any gas sampling bag will not do. The mylar or siren bags, which is imported from USA by a SKC company or some equivalent make, that it doesn't, they do not interfere with the pollutants. You collect with this low volume sampler in about 5 or 10 liters in a gas bag and take the bag into the laboratory and do the analysis by gravimetric TCD or by converting it into a catalytic converter with FID. CO can be done. Then benzene is a gas chemical based method, continuous analyzer is available. Adsorption and desorption followed by GC. Benzopyrene is particulate phase, can be extracted by solvent extraction and quantified by HPLC GC, which can be covered later on. Arsenic and nickel by S and ICP. Next. The type of sampling we are interested in monitoring the average quality, 24 hours or 25 annual averages. For that matter, we have to take the readings specified. But certain time we are interested in episodic sampling, grab sampling, excursions. Suppose we are going to check for enforcement agency to industry. We want to take a grab sample. So that in a short duration it is, we call it short duration sample. In duration, the batch sampling and the baseline data is collected in 24 hours. Next. The total particulate matter, all particles suspended in air is less than 100 micrometers is called suspended particulate matter. Respirable suspended particles are called less than 10 micrometers, and fine particles that is called 2.5 micrometers. Next. As per the new notification, it measures PM10 and PM2.5. A known volume of the air is passed through initially weight glass fiber filter paper GFA of size 8 into 10 inches centimeter. We are using any normal filter paper for gravimetric methods. Suppose one want to monitor the arsenic, lead or trace metal. For metal, when you are going for a trace metal analysis, you have to monitor lead and arsenic and nickel. But if the people who are having the ICP at their end, they can monitor number of particles at a one go without any extra efforts. If suppose you want to monitor the PM10 on the filter paper, then you have to use EPM 2000 filter paper. EPM 2000 is a low matrix, low background metals are there in that filter paper.